enjoy your day and enjoy coffee time with Pastime Comics and Collectibles.
Awesome. All right, we are back. You were nervous, weren't you? You after our video chat with McLean last night, you thought
I was waiting for that.
Was going to show up there.
Waiting for that aerial photo of me that y'all like so much.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, no, Ryan was nice. So, but anyway, welcome everybody. It is NFL Draft Night, but we're going to push that to the side because we got an important guest with us. David Sanchez is joining us. Talk a little comics, talk a little art stuff. Claim. Anyway, so yep, Leonard, you got to get with me and Ryan for any of David's commissions. So we've taken over.
Yeah, definitely. It's been a crazy couple of weeks here.
Are you taking commissions at the moment?
As of right now, I'm currently not. I've been blessed to have some great opportunities come up, and they've been taking quite a bit of my time. And I really want to focus on those and take care of the people that have given me those opportunities in such a crazy time. And as of right now, I plan on opening up everything back in middle part of May. But for right now, I'm currently not at the moment. But I still get messages, I still get emails, I still get text messages, and it's crazy awesome. Just blessed.
All right, so this is a question and answer show. So if you guys have any questions for David, just throw them on out there. Make them appropriate, please. We know the crowd watching us right now with some of you guys. But other than that, let's learn a little bit about you, David. We've known you for a while, and you come in the store a lot. And so tell us, what got you started drawing?
Well, from the younger part of my life, I was really into Dragon Ball Z, and I really loved drawing a lot of the characters. And so I would practice every now and then drawing those characters and trying to perfect them. And obviously they were a little wonky because it's a lot of line work, so all my lines were really off, and it just looked weird. But I also just really. My mom was in the hospital a lot, and growing up, and I also had a cousin who was in the hospital a lot, and I would always draw him stuff. And he really liked dragons. I would always draw dragons. And my mom, I couldn't afford to buy roses growing up, so I would draw my mother roses. I always saw these little Mexican candies, and I see a little picture of a rose on it. It's a little peanut butter candy, like a powder or whatever. But I would always draw the rose on there and give them to my mom because that was the only way I can afford to buy roses was to draw them. So as soon as I started doing that, and every now and then I'd see something, I'd try to draw it, and it was really therapeutical for me to draw when I was going through a tough time. I really was focused on football. I played a little in high school and collegiately, so I was really focused on that and didn't want anything to cloud my focus on that. So when everything seemed a little tough, I would just draw, and it made me feel good. So that's how I got started into that. But I met you what 5 years ago, 3 years or 4
3 years, 3 years ago.
And I bought a pop off of you because I was really heavy into collecting pops, and as soon as I would come home, I would draw, and sooner or later I was going to show you something I worked on, and never really wanted to show anybody what I was doing or show him what I was working on. I just drew for me. I didn't really think anybody would like what I was drawing, but you proved me wrong, so I appreciate you pushing me.
Yeah, so we're going to honor NFL Draft Night with the Cowboys have the 17th pick, so we're still a little ways from that. Mike, you're more welcome to keep us updated on picks, please, in the comments. We'd appreciate it. But yes, go back to that real quick, Ryan. Thank you, sir. Yeah, no, this isn't the one you did first. It was the Zeke.
Yeah,
the Zeke. Yeah, but still the Dak Prescott. The Zeke is kind of where over the last few months you had the Zeke Elliott picture that you drew. and sent it over to us. And from there, it just kind of took off. I mean, you went out and got prints. That's when we started talking to you. You met McLean, and then from there, it seemed like you really sat down and started getting serious about your work and your drawing, because you saw people kind of freak out over the Zeke Elliott. And I can't remember the one you did after Zeke, but right after you did one in between Zeke, and then you did somebody, and then you did Dak Prescott.
Right, I did the Dak Prescott. I did the Dak Prescott. Yeah, there it is. So I did this originally for myself. I really was just trying to see if I can do it. I saw the photo. I really liked it. You could tell they were having a down game that day, and he was upset at himself, and the photographer took an amazing photo, and I just really wanted to try it. I take risks a lot when it comes to my artwork, and that was a huge risk because I didn't think I could capture the emotion that he was going through at that time.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was a great piece. And then from there, like I said, you came in and started talking to all of us in the store, and we started pushing you a little bit, it seemed like, about you, you got to make prints of those. You can sell those. And sure enough, what happened? You got with McLean or no, you made your own prints first before you met McLean. And then, but then I think you sold out really quick and it shocked you that people wanted that piece of your artwork. And then it was kind of like the rest is history after that. And literally, think about it. That was about six months ago. November. There we go. Yeah. There's an update.
Thank you. Yeah, it was around October, November-ish. Really in October, because the first show that I ever officially did was yours at the Watauga Community Center. But yeah, it was in November. I posted that just to see what the reaction would be, and it was very overwhelming. I only made 50 prints at the time, sold out almost within 2 days. That was huge. It really changed what really I thought I was just doing for fun, really turn out a career.
Oh, David froze up. Now he's back.
Is he, David?
He's getting. I'm here. He's getting a little choppy.
Can you see me?
Yeah.
Your feed's getting a little choppy.
One of the hamsters jumped up.
No. Is it okay? Looking better?
Yeah, you're good. You're good. I think one of your fans, Adam McCormick, has a question for you. There it is. Look at that. Even with the great profile with the stash going.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. I never thought, honestly, that I would be able to be in the same industry as some of the artists that I looked up to growing up. I mean, Todd McFarlane was really a huge influence on me because I love Spawn so much. My dad and I were very big collectors growing up, and we collected nothing but Spawn figures and McFarlane sports, and I just loved everything he was doing. And Jim Lee, of course, Greg Capullo, and a lot of those names you never really thought you'd ever be able to potentially meet. And it's been crazy just seeing the transition from being a fan. And I'm still a fan too. Obviously, I honestly need to do a lot of work. I'm just starting out, and I really am looking forward to everything that's coming up. But it's been a great transition, and I'm just completely honored and humbled that everybody sees a huge amount of potential in the work that I can do.
Yeah. So, all right. So there's one of your next pieces that you did that blew everybody away. I believe Leonard Kelly picked that up one night on one of our live shows.
Oh yeah, that was a great piece. I remember when the blanks came out. I really wanted to see what I could do on that, and I had some pastels, I had some chalk, I had some white charcoal, and I remember going to work after I had done the face, the skeleton, and starting on the flames. I remember when I went to work, I thought I was done, and the flames looked like hair, literal hair, and it was just I was just so upset with myself. But my buddy at work, his name was Jordan, he really he told me what I needed to hear, and he was like, "This looks like crap. You need to fix this." And so I tinkered with it, and it just came out the way it did. And I thought, I'm going to bring it to the show. I'm going to hang out with the guys and, just get away and spend some time with them. And when you guys saw it, just the reaction I got from you guys was, I couldn't believe it. I didn't think I could have done. I really thought I could have done a lot better on that one, but just to hear everybody's reaction was amazing.
Yeah, and I think we put it up on an auction for you on one of our live shows, and it went pretty quick to Leonard Kelly, as a matter of fact, that is the proud owner of that piece. But so far, let me ask you, out of all the characters that you've done so far, and out of we have your prints in store. And a lot of the prints that you have, what has been your most favorite to draw?
My favorite piece that I've done so far is Heath Ledger's Joker, because it really taught me patience, and it taught me to respect light and shadows, and it taught me a lot about what I'm capable of as an artist, and it really showed me the possibilities of what I'm able to do if I stay patient, if I work hard, and just really just sit down and build that tunnel vision, just focus on what it is I'm drawing. And you saw the outcome, and then I get the reason why it's my favorite is I get the craziest responses every time I was at the show. They thought it was an actual photo. Every time somebody walk up and see it, they didn't think it was a drawing at all. And I was like, yeah, that's a drawing. Here's the original. That's not the original. That's a drawing. That's a photo. How can that be an original? I was like, oh, look. And I'd show them where I messed up and where I had some issues at, and they were like, oh my goodness. And it was just crazy.
All right, we got a question from McLean. He came loaded tonight. So as an artist, what do you feel is a strength of yours, and what is a weakness? And how does that help you on both ends? One answer.
Well, I know my strength right now is just being more in tune with my black and grays and the way I handle those. My weakness right now is I'm still learning as an artist, and I'm still learning that I don't really have too much. I'm self-taught. I never went to school or had training or anything like that. I just drew for fun, and there's a lot of things that a lot of lessons that I should have, learned early on that I've unfortunately have been a little handicapped with going into my pieces. So I would skip steps. I go right into the shading, and I just figure out the shapes as I go along, instead of drawing a foundation, building upon that, and starting brick by brick until you're building this beautiful, masterpiece. But I guess it's just, I'm impatient. That's my real weakness, is me being impatient most of the time. I really just want to get it done and make it look awesome, and just, you always look forward to those responses,
And then Cletus, he's asking, of course, you said any formal training, and you said no. Besides the advice I gave you on shading, I don't know if you've had one.
I've unfortunately, in art class in high school, I was let me kind of do my own thing while everybody was painting like fruit and stuff. I was drawing a pink spawn, or sculpting skulls and stuff. I just never really, I didn't really realize what I was doing at the time, but I was just drawing, and everybody was doing figures and, anatomy. I was just kind of hanging out in the corner drawing. So easy A in high school, and even easier in college.
Yeah. So I know Ryan was flipping through a lot of your prints. What is one print? Let's say what is one character that you have not got to draw yet that you're looking forward to doing? Because I know you kind of let's move over and let's talk about Punchline, right? Which I know Ryan loves this piece, but this is one that you just kind of, and I think you collaborated with Ryan a little bit on this. This is one. You're the Villain came out, Punchline was getting introduced, and then next thing we know, like 4 days later, you have a Punchline cover. This Punchline that you did, and we're like, where did this come from? And and you drew two of them actually. So is there another character out there that you really want to draw that you haven't got to do yet?
Right now, I really would love to draw. In my opinion, it would be kind of difficult for me not to really draw, but I've drawn Venom from a reference standpoint or in my one of my earlier pieces. Even though I've been able to draw him now, I really want to draw Venom in the way I would always see him. I'd see him real, everybody sees him real dirty, real grimy. I want to get really gritty with the character and just do something that, in my opinion, I could ever really see myself doing. Venom is one. I really want to draw. From my experiences and growing up, I really wanted to draw Spawn. Now I've seen Spawn. I've done Spawn again, younger piece, but I really want to see what I can do with Spawn right now. Ryan's been trying to get me to draw him, and I've had some mental setbacks trying to start him. But I've drawn him. Ghost Rider was a big favorite of mine to see if I can draw, and I did really well on that one. I did the piece. Ryan's tried to buy it from me a couple times. Even tried to walk off with it.
Okay, hold on. Yeah, there you go, Ron. Nice.
Yeah, I messed up on the chain, so as you can see, it's really not completely 100% finished. But oops, yeah. So as far as characters, I always like my favorites. The Hulk is another one that I really want to draw. I love, my dad and I were big fans of bodybuilding growing up, and I would always look at bodybuilders and I was like, man, I really want to draw the Hulk as this huge, just like a solid, like I loved Edward Norton's Hulk because he just looked like a huge linebacker, and I just really wanted to draw him the way I would see him. But that's my next project piece, is the Hulk. I don't really have anything Hulk related.
You could put McClane on a Hulk body. I mean, it was kind of, reference his past a little bit when he was a bodybuilder.
I would definitely do that for him. I would. If you want.
So Mike's come in, and I've got to dispute this one right here, and no pun intended there, but we know that's not true. So it's your favorite piece of work. What's the next spring cover?
I will admit that the Disputed Territory was my favorite from a
easy.
Well, from a risk standpoint. I for those that are familiar with the terminology, the term kit bashing, that was a big kit bashing cover. But obviously, hands down, that first one, you never forget your first, obviously. So that was my favorite, The Forgotten Isle.
Yeah. There you go, Mike. Hey, you'll have to go to Mike's page real quick, Ryan, and pull that cover too, because it just got turned in and finished, and it's already been posted. So it is absolutely gorgeous that he did for that cover. So yeah, there it is. Wow, look at you, Ryan. You are on it. So that is David's latest cover. That is actually your second cover, I believe, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, that is that's the Disputed Territory cover. So that, again, I mean, that is a gorgeous one too. So right now, all the work you're doing is fabulous. Everything that we're seeing. And again, if you guys got questions out there, let us know. We'll get them over here to David. I know McClane's got a question that he likes to ask all the artists, and hopefully he'll ask you the same one. It'll take him a minute to type it in, I'm sure. But yeah, there it is. Leonard, do what?
You should just have it on copy paste.
You really should, yeah. But it is actually a good question. But okay, so along with the rest of us, that that was nice too. The detail you put in the webbing on the suit, like in between the webbing.
That was a that was a very difficult piece for me to admit that I almost threw it away like twice. Honestly, I was so fed up with that cover because I messed up with the opaque paint on the. I smeared it too much, and I just like, there's no way I'm going to be able to come back from this. So I just got to cut my losses and throw it away. But thankfully, I didn't. I held on to that piece since the Albuquerque show, and I just thought, man, I just got to keep going with it. Just keep going, keep going. And sure enough, it turned out great. It took a lot. It was ink, charcoal, black and white, opaque paint, pastel, and just some, patience. Just to get that thing.
If I'm wrong, but is that the cityscape there in his eyes that like a reflection there?
Yes, that is, or at least my attempt at drawing it.
Yeah.
But it was a pretty cool attempt. It's really just some minor marks, but I've gotten Grand Canyon, I've gotten cityscapes, I've gotten just some weird responses from what they thought that was.
So I got to ask real quick. So we've done a couple of cons together. Oh my goodness. Anyway, you saw that too. We've done a couple of cons together, and I know we're all missing it right now because we were having a lot of fun, and we were looking forward to Oklahoma City and Keller, and then Fan Expo. You were going to be with us sitting in the booth. We were we had a lot of stuff coming up. So did it? And I think the one that got me was I didn't get to go to Albuquerque with you or Victoria down there, but when we did the North Texas Comic Show, did that one exceed your expectations, seeing how fans were stopping at your booth when they'd look at your artwork? It just kind of – even when we saw it at the Keller show and other shows that I've seen you at, you actually will stop some people in their tracks with your artwork. And you're always very humbled by that because you always tell yourself, I did okay. I mean, my artwork, this is even what you tell us, I did okay on that piece. And we're like, dude,
the response I gave Ryan earlier. That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, not to cut you off, but yeah, that was that show really just blew my mind. I'd never thought, especially where they sat me too. They sat me in front of legends. Like I was like, oh my God.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
Well, you were behind me, so you were set up behind me. So they sat me just in front of some of the most amazing artists I've ever seen, and it just blew me away. The response. I had one gentleman walk slowly, keep staring at my work, still walking at the same time. And I think he almost ran into a lady that was walking past him. And it was the funniest thing, but it just blew my mind. I never, like I said, I'm a fan still. Like I was a fan the year before. I was a fan at Fan Expo. I was a fan just in general. I still am, and I never thought that it would change or like grow so aggressively since November. I mean, November was the first show. And that'll be the show I'll never forget. But North Texas was I got to meet Neil Adams. Neil Adams came to my table and just complimented my work and critiqued my Batman. And I was like, yeah, I suck. I know. I'm sorry, but I just thank you though for telling me I suck. I appreciate it so much. Thank you so much. And it was just so amazing to talk to him, and Jose Delbo was there, and I got to be myself. I love hanging out with you guys. I love hanging out at shows. I just love being around the atmosphere, and I miss it. I haven't been around it in a while now. I'm itching for a show to set up at and hang out with everybody again. But yeah, it's a feeling that it's almost indescribable. The feeling that I get when somebody sees my work, and the reaction that they give me. Like I told you, I'd never really thought my work was good. I really was never in feedback mode, like I told you before. And now I thrive on it. I want people to see my work and just be happy and make them feel, the way that it makes me feel. So if I can do that in a piece, then I've done the best that I could do on that piece, and it just makes me motivates me more to keep going and keep drawing. I love the opportunities that I have right now, and I really want to focus on them. And like I said, I'm just, I can't explain it. It's just too much.
Okay. No, that's a good answer. And yeah, and there it is. There's one.
So,
what other medium would you like to try?
That's a great question. I really want to get into airbrushing. I really love the smoothness of it. It really tells. I like the story it'll tell when you've done a piece. And one of my favorite airbrushed artists now that I've really come to follow and enjoy seeing his work is Jay Ferguson. I really love his work, and he's been another motivator for me. And I had the opportunity to talk to him, unfortunately, but I'm a fan. I'm a big fan of his work, and he really makes me want to try something different. I won't be as good as he is at all, but I can try.
That would be a hard medium to use because we see them at Fan Expo, hanging up in the store. We've had what is it? The guys every year, kind of tradition for the store. We'll get a group picture done, and they airbrush. So last year we were all Marvel's villains, and Ryan had the lip.
I hate that one.
Yeah, well, hey, you did it, not us. But to sit there and watch those guys just airbrush takes them like an hour, and then it's amazing watching them, and it's so lifelike looking.
It's like poetry, man. I can't explain it. It's any better than that. It's just like watching poetry happen as you're seeing it unfold. It's beautiful. The way they can just have that patience and attention to hand placement, the pressure that goes into it. It's a beautiful form of art to me. So I love his work, and honestly, I'd love to be able to work on have a collaboration piece. Maybe that's a goal.
Yeah.
But he's like I said, I've never met him, never said one word to him, never even owned any of his work before, and much less a comic cover that he's done. I just saw his pieces recently, and I just, it made me do a double take. I just couldn't get away from it.
Okay. Well, I know there's a lot of comments coming up. There we go.
Is he here? Jay, that's crazy. That's a great question.
No, yeah, look at that. There we go.
Here he is. That's awesome. What's going on, Jay?
So Jay, he wants a collaboration piece with you once he perfects his art a little bit.
Once I'm awesome at drawing, I would love to work with you. But yeah, man, I'm a fan. I'm a huge fan. I'm a new fan, but man, I can't get over your work, man. It's just beautiful stuff. If I could ever try to bring realism to a certain level, it would be to get as close as yours. That's definitely great work. It's awesome. Awesome that you're here, man. I'm sorry. Was not expecting that.
So sorry. Going back to Adam's question.
Yeah.
Sanchez news on working on a side story of your own. Would love to see that imagination expansion.
I've thought about it little by little, but really, I love to draw, and I try to be as open-minded when it comes to my art, but I'm still learning. Like I get, and these guys could tell you firsthand. Like every cover that I've done, especially Chris's, because that was just a complete torture on the mind. Just drawing those skulls and trying to make it as perfect as he saw it. And I'm paying homage to The Walking Dead 100, and that's a huge shoes to fill. And I just
hear that, Mike.
I didn't think I could do that cover, honestly. And when I felt like I had self-doubt, I talked to these guys, and they would make me feel good. And Julian he was a good mental motivator. He just told me to shut up and get to work.
Yeah, Julian, he's just like, man, just go do it.
Do what you want to do. Don't worry about what Chris says.
Yeah, something like that.
That evidently the rumor has it that you use your beard to get those superb gradients. Is there any truth to that?
No, this is really just lack of attention to my face and a little bit of salt and a lot of pepper. I'm getting stressed out here.
Don't worry about it. Chris,
Yeah, I'm getting
so
gnarly
Just for me.
green.
Works every time.
Hey, Janice.
and McLean, this is the question we were talking about earlier. So, what is the oldest, most valuable, meaningful drawing tool you have in your supplies that you refuse to get rid of or replace, and why can you not let it go?
So there's a drawing that I did. It's an emotional piece for me because even though I do sell it as prints, the original, I've had people ask me about it, and I've never really, before they were even finished asking if I would sell it, I'm like, nope. Like I just not really willing to let that go. And it's the Virgin Mary drawing that I did with the actual Rose of Mexico. That piece was something I was drawing for my mom while she was on her deathbed, and I really love that piece, and it's a powerful piece for me. And honestly, I know a lot of people have asked about it, and I felt like she would want me to share it with everybody, and I made prints, and if they, it's honestly one of my best, or one of my high selling prints that I've done, that I've sold, but it's everybody wants the original, man. I can't let it go. So it's I don't know if you have it, Ryan, but
I don't have a question for it right now. So
okay, but it's one of those that I've done that really just another one that I did for me, and I didn't really want to have it as a print. I felt like I was lacking material for a show, and I knew that she would have wanted me to share it with everybody. So, it was a good piece for me. I wish I had access to it right now, but it's kind of up on its wall. There it is. Yeah. I really love.
a minute.
No, you're good. I really love, the black and grays, the Chicano style artwork, and she loved it too, and this was my way of paying respects, so unfortunately she had passed shortly after I was able to complete it. So
you heard it here first, everyone. Yep, David to honor his mom.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I know somebody was asking about your commission pricing, and I know your commission list is closed at the moment, but there it is.
He was on it. I generally charge for a comic book cover. I'm, as you can tell, I'm kind of a portrait artist. I really love doing portraits, and for a single portrait on a comic book, I charge $250. I am an authorized artist for CBCS and CGC, so I love doing portrait work. There's a few of them I've done. But I really try to do a little different looks here and there. But it's $250 for a book. When I look at other pieces I've done 11 by 14s, 18 by 24s. For 11 by 14 on a single portrait, it's $500. For a 18 by 24, it's $900. But I do frame those pieces. I pay for everything when it comes to that. Books, I do have, like Chris said, grading services at your disposal. I don't really do anything other than that. Just those two forms: books and 11 by 14s and 18 by 24s.
Hey, Ryan, put the Logan back up if you would, real quick, please.
Okay.
So I know that you did this piece and you posted this piece on Twitter, and you were blown away because wasn't it Marvel themselves tweeted at you about this picture?
Yeah, that was a piece that really caught the attention of some interesting people. I did that piece for Brad of Dork Buzz, and he came to me at North Texas, and he was like, "Hey, I would love for you to draw me a commission." And I told him, "Sure, yeah, I'm more than happy to." He tells me what he wants, and I'm like, "Done. Consider it done." And he handed me what everything I needed to get started. And I unfortunately messed up on the book, and I threw that book away. And I did it again and tried it one more time. And then I did that, and it came out the way you saw it. And everybody, I think Ryan was really trying to get me to do videos of like progress work and stuff like that. He was really focusing on me doing progress videos. So I did one, and immediately everybody was just like, "Oh my God, is that an erase?" You know, just the response I got was just amazing. Even Ryan see, I told you should be doing that. And
well,
so
on your music that you play while you're walking it. So.
that also, yeah, I need to work on that a little bit more. But I listen to the same music over and over again when I'm drawing, so I didn't have too much to choose from. So
No.
But yeah, that piece I did for Brad was one of my favorites, and he loved it. I was still unhappy with the way the eyes looked in the shadows, and so I had redid them. But they, yeah, I really didn't like the way they looked. It looked like I was forcing it. But when I redid them and showed it to him, he didn't say anything for about a good 5-10 minutes. I was worried. But he was like, "Yeah, I'm sorry. I just couldn't bring my jaw up. I was just so shocked how awesome it looked." So I was really happy with that.
Ryan Murray, it was great talking with you at North Texas. Still planning on getting commission from you eventually. Still want a print of that Miles Morales.
Well, we're definitely making prints of that one. That's that piece. It was great meeting you as well, Ryan. I don't really have too many Spider-Man pieces for prints. I only had the one Spider-Man Venom, and I had a gentleman reach out to me wanting Miles Morales, and he also wanted a Spider-Gwen. And I thought I really want to make him look realistic, and I want to try something different. And then Ryan Rumley made me use color, and so I was like, all right, well, cool, I'll try that.
Before, this is probably my favorite piece that you've done.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting on a Spider-Gwen.
I'll
reserve judgment for that, or Revan, but or Spawn.
Let me add on to that too, because I really do have a lot of people that have wanted stuff done, and I honestly do not purposely take my time, but I really feel like I would do a disservice to any piece that I'm working on if I'm rushing through it. And so I really apologize to those that have asked for work and that have reached out to me that I haven't responded to. It's not on purpose. I still have actually a day job too, so I work about 12 hours a day to come home and draw for another 4 or 5 hours. And right now I'm working on a piece that's a pretty big piece, and I can't really say too much about it. So I really want to focus on that. But I promise everybody I'm not naturally this slow to get everything done. I do take.
I will attest, David, that the piece he's working on now is an extremely important piece. It is going to be a print piece that will be out there for people to purchase, but he's got to focus on it right now, for sure. So
yeah, I'm trying. I really am. Just bear with me, everybody. I promise you, I will get them done. I promise.
David, you mentioned the Heath Ledger. You said, do you still have the original available? And if so, is it for sale?
Yes, I do have the original still available. I was kind of glad that the person that was really interested in it didn't end up buying it, because I was going to keep it. But it is for sale. I am selling that piece.
No, you're willing. You can keep your own pieces. You don't have to sell it, David.
Right.
Well, I know, but I feel like, you know, I'm always wanting to buy originals myself. I'm always wanting to own something. Like getting something from Alan Quah would be amazing. I love his work. Getting something from Matina would be amazing. Getting something from Greg Capullo and Perillo, getting work from Tommy Farland, all that would be amazing. But you know, if they're willing to let go of their work, yes, they're being paid to draw. But if they're willing to let go of their work, you know, I know my work's going to somebody that really cherishes and loves it as much as I do, and can appreciate the work I put into it. Then, yeah, why not?
So I did get a message just now. What's the asking price on that original piece for Heath Ledger?
That piece, I am selling that, and that is for $800.
$800. So the person keeps messaging me asking it's $800. There's also you have the original piece on this. Is that sold?
That did sell. The person that bought that one really wanted both of them, but he really just wanted that Joaquin Phoenix Joker a lot more. So
Your Taskmaster, is that one sold or is that one still available?
that particular piece is still available. That is actually one of the most like just mind-numbing pieces I've drawn, because I really try to do a little bit differently. I draw a little bit differently. I know Taskmaster doesn't really get the credit that he deserves, but I love that character, and I just think about doing like a piece of his just drawing that character and just a buff Grim Reaper, the super like badass Grim Reaper just chomping away. I don't know. It's just that's what I was trying to go with when I did that piece, and it looked pretty cool.
And then final one, this line I believe is still available as well.
That is still available. I've had some people ask me about that one. I know my first punchline was a little bit more of what people were interested in, but that one has sold, unfortunately. And but that first punchline is still available. Really just wanted to give her a different look than what you see her. Wanted to bring her to life and what I thought she would look like as instead of from a comic book form. And I really like the way it came out. I know I can draw decently, but that really let me step out of my comfort zone quite a bit.
All right, being Heath Ledger, what is the size of the original art?
The size of the original art is 11 by 14. It is in fact
Heath Ledger for $800.
Yeah, and that is 60 plus hours of work, and the amount of detail going into the shirt is enough to give me a headache thinking about it.
That's too cheap. Leonard Kelly can hit you up for Galactica.
That is too cheap because you're breaking yourself down to $13 an hour to draw that.
I know.
Wow.
But
that's a steal.
He'll do a collaboration where he'll do y'all can do dueling with guns, a gunfight. You draw one and he draws the other.
I would do that. It would probably look a little tough from my end, but I would draw it.
So the message me said they would like to buy it. What's the best way for them to contact you to purchase Ledger?
The best way is always to reach out to me through a direct message on Facebook. That's the easiest for me. Emails, I do look at my emails. I do take a minute to respond that way, but Facebook is always the best. But you can always get in touch with Chris and Ryan. They have done a lot for me in my career, and honestly, I would not be where I'm at today if it wasn't for Ryan or Chris or Julian or McLean. These guys, never thought I'd be in this position.
Message his Facebook page. We have his Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter going across the bottom down there. That is his artist page. So if you message him, or if you want me to do it and take care of it for you, the person that's messaging me, I can take care of it for you after the show or tomorrow or whatever. But Sanchez basically considered that sold. This person will absolutely pay for it. I have no doubt. So
that's awesome. Thank you so much.
By just saying that, I think I have a good idea who just purchased that piece.
I'd love to hug them. Thank you.
I don't know if they want to say on the live feed, so if they do, they can message me. If not, then we'll leave it after the show or whatever. So, but yes, so consider that sold and take care of.
Thank you so much, everybody. It really means the world to me. I try to express how honored I am to even be in this position, and again, it's thanks to these guys here. What they're doing in this time is a blessing to be able to share our work and them see value in our work, and and believe in us, and especially me, somebody that nobody even knew my name or knew who I was or even cared. It's just, you know, from going to that to somebody wanting to buy my pieces, and it's a lot.
Hopefully this show has turned into buying your piece because Leonard would like to buy your Taskmaster.
Thank you, Leonard.
I guess the next question, Leonard, do you want it graded, and do you want it CGC, or do you want CBCS?
Autocorrect. Oh man, that's crazy. I appreciate that, Leonard. I know you have a couple of my pieces already, and it means a lot to me that you want this one. This one was one of my most challenging, and I just really like the way it came out.
I'm not gonna lie, that one frustrated because you were working on a different project and you sent that over and like, check out what I just did. I'm like, David.
Yeah,
I like it. Like it's kind of, it's, you know, if I ever want to feel like I'm doing something different, or if I really just want to be happy that day, I kind of will do stuff like that to upset you.
Yeah.
It's like, man, I'm so frustrated with this piece, but you know what? I'm gonna do this real quick and upset Ryan. See what he says.
Leonard said he would like it graded CGC, sir.
You got it, buddy.
And I believe you have Leonard's contact info.
I do. I'll reach out to you, buddy, after the show, and thank you again for everything. Sorry, my computer went off.
Monitor. So, all right. I think I caught up on questions, Chris.
Yeah, I think you have too. I think. Here you go. Well, there's one.
Oh.
I am actually. I do own. I actually love the fans that follow my work. I recently was able to get. I don't know if y'all remember, but at the show that we had, or the little, you know, the show at the high school was canceled, we set up at your store. I was actually interviewed that day by a fan of mine, and her dad brought her there, and it was for a school project. The project was, who do you admire, and what is their profession? And she said that she admired me and my work, and she wanted to be an artist when she grew up. And so her dad really pushed to get me to talk to her, and I never regretted that at all, because I'm glad I did. And the reason because of that, I gave her a challenge, and I gave her a cable blank, and I was like, draw me cable the way you see cable. And this is, let me see if I can grab it here. She did this piece, and it just really it was really awesome. And she did this for me. This is by far one of the coolest pieces I've ever owned, honestly. And like, I don't know, to me it was amazing, because they when I drew her Mastermind. I don't know if you remember me drawing that, Ryan. Megamind. I'm sorry, Megamind. I drew that.
Oh my! When did you draw that?
I drew that for her birthday. Just to, you know, her dad really wanted me to draw. I did it for free. It was a birthday gift.
Yeah.
Hey, don't you do stuff for free.
I had a birthday. You can draw me something.
I did.
Oh yeah, you did. Never mind.
Yeah, she really wanted that, and that was her favorite character. And I thought, you know, I'll try it. And she was, as soon as I was able to finish that, and I met up with her, she handed me this piece, and she was like, "Look what I did for you." And I was like, "That's so awesome." And then they gave me a little, like a thank you card to go along with it. So I was really taken back by that. So honestly, that's one of the coolest pieces I own. I unfortunately have not yet to meet artists. I actually am waiting for my commission from Alan Quah. I already paid for it and everything. Not really, not yet, but I'm waiting for that. But honestly, that piece alone to me means more than anything. So.
You know, pull up old Cletus here. You know, and Mike, a lot of people don't know Mike real quick. I know we're on David's show, but we'll throw it back over to Mike. Mike created Disputed Territory. David did a variant cover for him, but we're going to – and Rumley just left us. But that happens to him. He froze up again. But that happens to him every now and then. No, it's his webcam or something. But anyway, we're going to be having Mike on our show in a couple of weeks, too. He's going to get on there. So you have to get on and harass him like he's doing you right now. So we're going to have Mike on here in a couple of weeks. Him and Frank Gilcup, who did the interiors as well for that book. So, yeah, they're kind of excited. But, you know, we got to have him on as well. We're going to have McLean on. So, you know, I know some of you guys that follow McLean, you saw a post that he posted last night about he hadn't laughed so hard in I don't know how long. Well, David, myself, Ryan, and McLean all got on this video chat right here. We didn't go live. We just had it in our little staging room. I think we were on for an hour and a half. David was trying to draw, and we were all in tears laughing so hard at stuff. Just stuff that was going – I had a blast last night. And all it was just to come on and test David's feed. We were coming in for a minute or two just to test a feed, to make sure David's feed was okay. Up came McLean, and an hour and a half later, we're getting off the call. It was insane. But,
that
was good times. We got Droid Cam up there, so we're going to boot Ryan back. He's not ready yet. But man, I never saw that Megamind. That was cool, man, that you did that. But you know what? It's like, you know what Mike was saying about how humble you are. And it's true, because who was the kid that came up to, and it was in the intro video. Remember the kid that came to your table at North Texas Comic Show?
Yeah.
And his dad loved your work. They bought some prints, and you wound up doing a remark for them on a sketch card for free. And his dad was just blown away that you would even do that, or he kept trying to pay you. And I was sitting there, and but real quick, yeah, Mike, there's his Vader right there.
Had to bring that out. The Vader.
So,
all right, I'm back. Can y'all hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Somebody's webcam wasn't working, but I'm sorry, David. Yeah, but I was asking one of the questions there. But yeah, just that kid, how humble you were, and then to sit there and draw that sketch you drew for him, and it took you a little while to draw it. And I kept turning around looking at you. I was like, "What are you doing?" And then you're like, "Oh, you know, they came up, bought some prints. They were very nice to me." And then you just sit there for the kid, and I don't know if it was birthday or not, but apparently, if you've got a birthday coming up, David does free drawings.
No, David does not.
But yeah, that was just the coolest thing, and the biggest smile on that kid's face when you handed him that little sketch card that you drew for him.
Yeah, that was one of the most, like, when it was really the best time at that moment. I really enjoyed. Everything was just, a bonus. That was a cool moment. He had came up to me because he had saw that I drew the Joker on my banner, and he had these sketch cards. I know, man. I'm sorry. Happy birthday, though. He was looking at my banner, and I was really just wondering, do you like? I was like, do you like it? And he was like, yeah, I love it. It's amazing. And I really want you to draw me something. And he handed me these two sketch cards, and him and his buddy were there, and I was like, well, what would you like me to draw? And he was like, I want you to draw that. And he points at the Joaquin Phoenix Joker, and I was like, it took me like 60 hours to draw this thing, right? like this isn't going to be like really that good looking, but I'll draw it for you. And he was like, cool. So I draw, and I would like, hey, if you want to go look around, just come back, give me about 20-30 minutes, and I'll try it.
Mm-hmm.
And he came back, and he's like, after I was done with it, his dad came, or while I was drawing, his dad came up to me, and he was just like, oh my God, hey Megan. He was like, oh my God, this is amazing.
There it is. Yeah.
And he saw it too for the first time as he came back from looking around. He's like, you did this? I was like, yeah, this is what you wanted. He's like, I thought it was just gonna be something like really quick and simple. I was like, I'm sorry, man. I don't do quick and simple, man. I gotta take some time. I gotta draw it. I gotta make it look real if possible. And but I hope you like it. And he was like, I love it. Uh, do I pay you for this now? And I'm like, I was like, okay. Well, no, don't worry about it.
Yes, I accept money.
Just in the future, if whenever you talk to people, artists like this, and you ask them to draw you something, generally they'll want something in return. But for me, no, I'm just really glad you guys came up and saw something in my work, and you were great, and you were patient with me. That's all I can ask for. That's more valuable to me than money. So, yeah, Punisher.
Yeah.
That is another Leonard Kelly owned piece, and Leonard, man, thank you for letting me. He was so kind to let me take those pieces on the shows on the road with me, and he put a lot of trust in me to hold on to them and not mess them up. And
Yeah, because I honestly wouldn't have done that.
I know I felt so bad, and people would try to grab that freaking book, and I would get so mad at everybody. What's going on, David? Oh, he did. You took his books. You took my
Yes,
books.
he dropped off your books, yours and
Awesome.
whoever else had bought books from their show last night. I've got your books here. I'll drop them off at the store tomorrow. So
I know you guys got a lot. David and Sean, I know they got a lot going on, and I don't ever like bothering them about that stuff. But I love to support what they got going on too, and they have some good stuff, guys. Like you can't. 181 has some awesome stuff.
Just real quick, because we were talking about some other stuff and then got wrapped up in buying stuff from you, evidently. But Ryan Murray was talking about saying that wanted a commission, or not a commission, but wanted a print of that. That print originally was scheduled to be released at Fan Expo, which obviously did not happen. They rescheduled for June. So assuming it happens in June, it will be available then. If Fan Expo doesn't happen, I think David planning on releasing it anyways, whether Fan Expo happens or not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was another moment, man. I can't. I'll go into a whole bunch of detail about that moment. But yeah, I was given an opportunity to set up with as an artist for Pastime at Fan Expo, and I wanted to have some exclusives for that show, and I was able to do a couple of pieces for that show, but unfortunately it was rescheduled. But I do plan on having prints done of that. So hopefully in June, but if not, definitely either way.
well, here's what we'll do. If Fan Expo, we're crossing our fingers, it happens. So we can get everybody set up there. If Fan Expo does not happen, we'll do another event at the store, and we'll have you set up releasing prints that day. So you sell your prints that day in store. I mean, they're your prints, so that's you. So, but we'll set you up in store and do that. So, we'll get more room this time. We're going to use the dojo.
That'd be awesome.
Well, you know what, Miyagi there, he got with me after the event because I was trying to get his building. Yeah. And he said he completely missed the text. And he goes, you should have just opened the door and used it. And I was like, oh, man. Because we'd had so much room with you and the Palmers and Mike and me and Cole were all set up there. Then we'd have had a lot more space to be all set up. So, yeah. So what we'll do is just follow David, follow us on our page as well. And I think that would have been the other print, correct, David?
Yes. Yeah, that was going to be the other release for the exclusive for the Fan Expo show. That I worked. That took me a while. I was really trying to make it look as super real as possible, and I thought it came out really well. And it's just unfortunate we weren't able to have the show at that time.
Yeah,
but that original has sold, unfortunately.
Yeah, but go ahead with David's question.
I'm sorry. So he said, thanks for the kind words. If given the chance, which Teen Titans character would you love to do a commission for? Kid Flash, Aqualad, Robin, Speedy, Deathstroke, Trigon, or Cyborg? I
think kind of, not to not to disregard David's question, but kind of going back to McLean's, now thinking about it now, I really love Flash and Reverse Flash, and I think to answer David's question, I probably want to do a Kid Flash if I could. I think it'd be cool just to try it and make it look super realistic as possible, and what I would think he would look like if he were made into an actor playing his role. But Kid Flash definitely for me.
Yeah, Mike, I'm watching the draft here on my phone too, and I just watched the pick to Denver, and that I don't know who the old guy was standing in front of the camera, and that guy in Judy's house, but that looked like one of your parties at your house at draft day. That was a little crazy dancing in front. But anyway, so yeah, David. But yeah, we'll do that again. Like I said, if there's no fan expo, we'll let everybody know. You come out, you can set up, sell your prints again. We've got to do an event again. So especially and unveil your two prints that Ryan just showed that you were going to have. So that way you can get those out there into your fans' hands that want those.
Yeah, definitely. I'm on board. No doubt about it. I'd love to set up at that show and just being back in that atmosphere again. That's all I've been waiting for. Okay.
Well, we've been on for an hour, so I don't know if you're drawing tonight, David, but I guess
I have some work to get done. And,
yeah, he's got a cover he's got to do.
Yeah. Just to kind of give everybody an update, I am working on 3 covers right now. One, Chris, that he's actually announced, the Mortician. I've been given the opportunity to be his cover artist for his series, so I'm excited for that. I'll start working on that next month as we get closer into the month, middle part of May. But as of right now, I'm working on a big piece that I'm hoping will take our career to another level. So thank you to the company and individual directly that provided me with that opportunity. And I also have another one that I'm working on too. After the first punchline I did, it really caught the attention of a lot of people, and I've been honored to have conversations with some pretty big names. So I can't thank them enough. Yeah, that cover really opened up a lot of doors for me, and honestly, I just wanted to try my hand at punchline for the first time. Ryan told me to draw her, and I told him I would, and that's
sorry, I kept pestering you about it.
I told him I was going to draw her, but it was going to take some time. I had other stuff to do, but I saw her as that, and I was not expecting the response I got that day. So I'm really glad I did it. Thank you, Ryan, for making me do work.
I promise you, I'm not trying to steer you wrong, brother. I'm looking out for you.
I trust you 100%.
McLean, do you think attitude influences the quality of art artists creates and a way of operation an artist's future of success is paved?
That's a great question. I know for me as a new artist, I value the relationships that I've built with Chris, Ryan, Julian, McLean, with you directly, McLean. And, my attitude has always been positive. Just try to have fun with what you're doing. I know I call it work, but really it's not. For me, I use that as an excuse to meet a deadline, honestly, when it comes down to it. But for the most part, my attitude is, I'm not used to all of this, honestly. I'm not used to any of this. I really just, like I said earlier, I drew for me, nobody else. Didn't really think anybody liked my work, and these people you're looking at included really just changed everything for me. So my attitude and the way I put the effort I put in my work, really, it's starting to show, and people, I'm getting better, and I see it too. I'm getting better as I'm drawing, and even the cover that I'm working on now, even though Ryan has seen it, and even before we started the show, after I saw a certain cover that was just announced, I was like, you know what, man, I just feel like I can do better. I feel like I'm not giving it my all. And that to me is just me just motivating myself to do better. So having a good, strong, motivational approach to everything I'm drawing or I'm working on just is the quality that you see in the work that I do. So I'm not the one to cut corners, even though I try to sometimes, but I tend to kind of look at what I did and just like, nope, gotta do it again, redo it.
And then you send it to me, and I tell you, nope, I don't like it.
Yeah, I draw a certain look, and he just tells me I suck. So I'll change it, you know. And thankfully, I'm able to make those corrections and it not impact the quality of the work, and you can't really tell. And even though when you press so firmly on paper with a dark medium and try to erase it, you're gonna still see you're gonna see what you just did and what you just erased. And thankfully, I'm learning how to make up for those mistakes.
Let's see, final comment of the night. Remember meeting you at a FedEx parking lot for some pops and seeing that Spawn piece that you had done way back when. I knew you had talent from that point.
Thank you, brother. I tried to not show too many people that. I built my Instagram page as like a personal page, but then I started showing a lot of my pieces and getting the likes that I did get and the responses I did get. I kind of knew that there was something going on, but really Chris was the one to kind of push me over the edge and finally let go of my work.
I said David's was the last, but I'm not going to ignore Alan's comment.
No, you can't ignore that. No.
Thank you so much. And Alan, man, like it was surreal when he commented on my Ghost Rider. Ryan, literally seconds after he commented on it, do you know who just commented on your work? That was Alan Quall. And me, just so brand new to it, I was like, who's Alan? And he said he's a DC artist, and I just, man, I couldn't get over it. I was just couldn't believe it, So it's been a dream of mine to work for DC and Marvel, and just for someone with his stature and his talent to and just being an awesome person, man. I can't get over how awesome he is. I was blessed with the opportunity to work on the same project as him. Thank you, Michael, with the Disputed Territory. And like I said in the comment when I posted it, that project really, I achieved a ton of things doing that. I mean, goals were accomplished, dreams were made true. I couldn't thank him enough. I can't thank him enough. He wants to pay me for that cover, but I don't really think that was payment enough for me.
All right, Sanchez, stop saying you do stuff for free.
Well, now I don't do that. But
you can pay me for Mike's cover.
No, but like I said, and I take this 100% serious. Like that to me was enough. Just to be able to work with Alan, and even though my cover fails in comparison to his, it was an honor.
Just a couple more accolades here.
Thank you,
Jason
brother.
Terry.
Jason Terry, man. Thank you, Ryan.
So there you go, sir.
Thank you, brother.
So you keep it up.
Yeah.
You should go get that cover done. It's due Tuesday.
It is due Tuesday, and I will have it done Sunday. Thank you guys sincerely for this. This is, amazing opportunity. I really appreciate it, and thank you for everything you've done for me in my life and my career. So.
Enjoy your day and enjoy coffee time with Pastime Comics and Collectibles.